Hi, my name is Pat Gangler from Design Specialties, and the purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to measure your masonry fireplace opening so that your glass doors fit perfectly every time. Let's begin by describing some of the terms we use to describe a masonry fireplace. First, we start with the fire brick. Masonry fireplaces are built by actual masons, and they mortar in the fire brick, real fire brick, into the fireplace, as opposed to artificial fiber brick, which you'll find in some of the zero clearance or factory built fireplaces. The next term we want to describe is the hearth. The ledge that comes out in front of the fireplace is called the hearth. In most of the fireplaces that you see, the hearth is going to be flush to the opening, as you see here. Now, the location of the hearth is very important in getting the size of our doors correctly. In a situation like this, typically the door is going to sit on the hearth and going to overlap on both sides and the top. If, however, the hearth were several inches lower than the fireplace, or if there was no hearth at all and you basically had a hole in a wall, you can see where the bottom of the door would actually overlap the fireplace as well. And the height of that door is going to be taller in that situation than it is in this situation, even though the opening size is exactly the same. Similarly, you can have a situation where the firebox is actually lower than the hearth. In a situation like that, if you had an inside fit door, we may have to use something called a riser bar to sit the fireplace door on so that the draft assembly works properly. In any event, the important thing to note is that the location of the hearth is very important in our sizing the doors, and you have to let us know what that location is. The next important term that we have is the lintel. The lintel is the steel bar that's used to hold up the structure on top of the fireplace, whether it's brick or stone, as in this case. The location of the lintel is a very important factor when we're determining the size of the fireplace door. We'll get more into that later. The last term I want to describe is actually the fascia itself. The fascia is used to describe the decorative material that's surrounding the fireplace. The fascia can be brick, it can be marble, tile, slate, or as in this case, beautiful cut stone. Oftentimes the fascia will determine the type of fit that you have for the fireplace. There are basically three types of fit that the door can have in the fireplace. The first is called an overlap fit, where the door simply overlaps on the outside of the fireplace. The second fit is an inside fit, where the door fits inside the opening of the fireplace. And our company has a unique design where we have a cutback fit, where it's a modified overlap fit, and it overlaps slightly, but very little protrusion into the room. And on a fireplace like this, to overlap the lintel and fit inside the rest of the fireplace, this would be a perfect application. It also gives a stunning look on a low rake brick or a marble or a tile. Regardless of the type of fit you choose, it's still very important that you get accurate measurements of your opening. Some part or all of the door is going to fit into the opening, so it's very important that we identify the minimum width and the minimum height so that the door fits properly. And we do that by measuring three locations on the width and three locations on the height. We measure at the bottom, in the middle, and at the top for the width, and for the height, the left side, the middle, and the right side. Now, it's very important on the height to take into account the lintel, because as I mentioned earlier, we're looking for the minimum dimension in that opening, the true opening size. In most cases, the lintel is what that door is going to touch first. So in addition to the height from the hearth to the lintel, we also need to get the dimension of the lintel to the fascia. And that dimension is easily taken, the height of the lintel to the fascia and the depth of the lintel to the fascia. Once we have those measurements, we have all the measurements we need to accurately size our door. Now in most fireplaces, it's very easy to get those measurements. But as you can see on this rough stone, it's not quite that simple. The minimum point may not be the middle or the top. So on a rough stone application, we use a little 24-inch level. And with that, we line up the left side of the opening to where the bubble is in the middle of the level, and we mark that point on the opening. We do the same for the right side. And we measure between those 2 points. And we have a very accurate width measurement of the fireplace. We do the same for the height. We measure on the bottom at the high point, and at the top, which is pretty level. And we get our height measurement. Now you have accurate measurements of your opening. Remember, it's important to let us know the location of the hearth, the measurements on the lintel, and accurate width and height dimensions. With that, your door will fit properly every time. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions about either measuring or installing your fireplace door, please call or email us at any time. Thank you very much.